The day I was introduced to my husband's wealthy family, his conniving childhood friend, Blanche, was practically tripping over herself to do household chores, make tea, and cook meals, all to make me look like a lazy, useless burden. She even went as far as to cry and accuse me of only being with Jackson Vance, the family heir, for his money. I thought I was completely screwed. But then, to my utter shock, his entire family began to slowly, deliberately applaud. My powerful mother-in-law announced that this family had enough money to last 10 generations, and their only fear was a daughter-in-law who didn't know how to spend it. Loving someone for their money, she declared, was the most stable relationship. Approved. Then, my husband's grandmother scoffed at Blanche's dusty embroidery, choosing instead to enthusiastically hug and kiss the heavy, gold-plated statue I had gifted her, praising its substantial weight and satisfying feel. In the end, Blanche vanished, and I won without lifting a finger. I, Ivy Lynn, was a completely ordinary college student, or, to be more precise, a professional slacker. My life motto was simple: if there's a chair, don't stand; if there's a bed, don't sit. But life, in its cruel way, pushed even a slacker like me into dire straits after I accidentally spent way too much money on a new gun skin in a game. I desperately needed to find a part-time job. Washing dishes? Too tiring. Tutoring? Not smart enough. Handing out flyers? Too hot. Just as I was wallowing in despair, I stumbled upon a crumpled job posting in a secluded corner of the school bulletin board. The description was short and to the point. Seeking private library assistant. Duties: sit still, maintain order, occasionally turn book pages. Requirements: absolute silence, no distractions, tolerate low temperatures, cold AC. Salary: $50 per hour, snacks included. Contact VIP library room number 1. My eyes lit up like car headlights. $50 an hour just to sit and breathe? This, I thought, was the job literally born for me. I practically sprinted to the library, pushing open the heavy door to the VIP room. Inside, a young man was reclined in a leather armchair, eyes closed, resting. He was impossibly handsome, with a sharp, straight nose, sword-like eyebrows, and pale skin, though dark circles shadowed his deeply set eyes. The air around him was as cold as the Arctic, both literally and figuratively. This was my first encounter with Jackson Vance, the legendary campus heartthrob. The one the girls rumored could get someone pregnant just by looking at them for 3 seconds. Pure nonsense, of course. He opened his eyes, his sharp gaze cutting right through me. Here to apply? I nodded vigorously. Yes, sir. My greatest talent is sitting still and doing absolutely nothing. Jackson Vance smirked, tossing a thick, heavy book titled History of Western Philosophy onto the table. Sit over there and read it aloud, he commanded, in a monotone voice. No inflections allowed. I gleefully accepted the job, thinking, how hard can reading be? I started, being, something or other. Oh, ontology. After reading precisely 3 lines, a wave of drowsiness hit me like a storm. My voice slowly faded, until it was nothing more than a soft, rhythmic breathing. 5 minutes later, my head slumped onto the table, and I was fast asleep, a trickle of drool forming on the edge of the book. I woke up with a start to the chime signaling the end of the hour. Frantically, I wiped away the drool. Oh no, I thought. Asterisk first day on the job and I fell asleep. I'm definitely fired, asterisk I cautiously glanced at Jackson Vance. Strangely, he was also asleep, and judging by the relaxed expression on his face, it seemed he'd had a truly deep, peaceful rest. Jackson Vance slowly opened his eyes, looking at me and the damp spot of drool on the table. He wasn't angry at all. On the contrary, a strange glint appeared in his eyes. He pulled out his wallet, tossed a wad of cash my way, and said, "Come back tomorrow. Double pay." It turned out Jackson Vance suffered from severe insomnia due to the early pressure of taking over the family corporation. He had hired countless people to read to him, but every single one would either try to read with dramatic flair or show off their golden voices to try and charm him, only making his headaches worse. Only I, with my monotonous, sleep-inducing voice and my uncanny ability to catch sleep waves, had inadvertently become his living sleeping pill. I became Jackson Vance's personal talisman. My daily duties were simple: arrive at the VIP room, eat the snacks he bought, drink the bubble tea he ordered, read 3 lines of a book, and then curl up and sleep beside him. But life, as they say, is rarely a dream. News of me monopolizing the VIP room with the campus heartthrob inevitably spread. Willow, the campus beauty queen, a prototype of all future conniving green tea girls, decided to make her move. Using her position as student council president as an excuse, she barged into the VIP room while I was sleeping. "Jackson Vance," she cooed, "I think this assistant is incredibly unprofessional." Who sleeps and drools on the job like that? You need someone to read, and I have a city-level certificate for golden voice reading. Let me help you. With that, she kicked the leg of my chair, jarring me awake. Then, confident and poised, she picked up the book and began to read in a dramatic, melodious, almost tearful voice, as if reciting poetry. Jackson Vance, who had been on the verge of sleep, was jolted awake by her grating, operatic voice. He scowled, and his headache returned with a vengeance. Willow saw him frown, mistook it for deep concentration, and read with even more fervent passion, even leaning forward intentionally to expose her alluring collarbone. Enough. Jackson Vance roared, slamming his hand down on the table. Willow jumped, tears welling in her eyes. Jackson, wasn't my reading good? He pointed to the door, his face as dark as thunder. Get out. You're deafening. Are you reading philosophy or summoning spirits? Then he turned to me, staring blankly and clutching a bag of chips in the corner of the room. And you, he growled. I trembled. Why yes, I'm leaving right away. Please don't dock my pay. Who said you could leave? Jackson Vance strode over, pushed me back into my seat, and shoved the book into my hands. Keep reading. That boring part from earlier. Hurry, my head's about to explode. I whined, but I forgot where I was reading. Jackson Vance sighed, running a hand through my hair in a gesture of helpless resignation. His voice, suddenly, became terrifyingly soft. Never mind reading. Just lie down and sleep. Only when I hear your breathing can I truly relax. Willow stood outside the door, witnessing the entire scene, so furious she could have crushed the doorknob. From that day on, a new rumor spread. Jackson Vance, the campus heartthrob, had the strangest taste. He didn't like beauty queens, he only liked lazy pigs who fell asleep on the job. Our master and assistant relationship continued smoothly until Valentine's Day. That day, I decided to take off work to hunt for discounted chocolates. Jackson Vance couldn't get hold of me, and his insomnia flared up, combined with an inexplicable anxiety that drove him mad. He turned the entire university upside down looking for me. Finally, he found me squatting by the roadside, holding 2 skewers of grilled meat, mouth covered in sauce, eyes glued to my phone as I played a game. Jackson Vance stepped out of a sleek supercar. It was only then that I realized he was filthy rich. He stood blocking my view. Ivy Lynn. I looked up, grinning, a bit of cilantro still stuck to my teeth. Oh, boss. Are you here for skewers too? It's buy 2 get 1 free today. Jackson Vance looked at my disheveled appearance, messy hair, oversized t-shirt, worn-out flip-flops. Nothing about me screamed vibrant youth. But strangely, seeing me, his heart, which had been pounding wildly with worry, suddenly found peace. He squatted down in front of me, ignoring his expensive designer suit brushing against the dusty ground. Why weren't you there today? He asked. I went sail hunting, I replied honestly. And it's Valentine's Day. I figured you'd be busy with some hot influencer girls, so I didn't want to bother you. I held out a skewer. Want one? My treat. Jackson Vance looked at the skewer, then directly into my eyes. Ivy, you really like money, don't you? Of course. I said without hesitation. Money buys game skins, bubble tea, and freedom. Jackson Vance took a deep breath, his ears turning slightly red. So, would you like to sign a long-term contract? What kind of contract? I asked. Reading books forever? No, he said, a contract to be my exclusive human pillow and Jackson Vance's personal money spending machine. I blinked, stopped chewing, completely baffled. What does that mean? Jackson Vance snatched the skewer from my hand, took a bite, an indirect kiss. Oh my god, then, with an air of absolute dominance, he declared, it means I'll support you. All you have to do is eat, sleep, play games, and stay by my side so I can sleep well. You'll have my credit card, buy whatever you want. In return, you're not allowed to look at any other guy, and you're not allowed to disappear like you did today. I blinked again, my brain processing at lightning speed. Asterisk supported, well-fed, dressed nicely. No work, just sleep. This was too good to be true. Asterisk I wiped my mouth, then asked seriously, does that include lifetime bubble tea? Jackson Vance laughed, a radiant smile that could melt a 1,000-year-old iceberg. I'll buy you the entire bubble tea factory. Deal. I slapped his hand. After dating for a while, he took me home to meet his family. And me, a true slacker, whose biggest dream in life was to win the lottery, then just lie around at home, raising cats, and drinking bubble tea all day. But life is not a dream. I didn't win the lottery, instead, I won Jackson Vance. The heir to the Vance Corporation, the man who held the economic lifeblood of the entire city in his hands. Today was the day I was going with Jackson Vance to meet his family. Inside the long, limited edition Maybach, the atmosphere was as cold as a freezer, not because of the air conditioning, but because of the presence of a third person. Blanche, true to her name, wore a pristine white dress. Her long, straight, silky black hair, and no makeup accentuated her delicate, fragile look, as if she needed constant protection. She introduced herself as Jackson Vance's childhood sweetheart, who grew up with him in the family compound. "Jackson," she cooed, "when we get home, your mother will be so happy to see me with you. It's been so long since I visited her." Blanche tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, her voice sweet as rock candy but laced with hidden implications. I sat beside her, clutching my bubble tea with extra toppings, silently rolling my eyes. Her words were a clear insinuation that I was an outsider, and she was the one truly close to the family. Jackson Vance was looking at documents on his tablet, not even bothering to lift an eyelid, simply giving a cold, indifferent hum. A single, concise syllable, oozing with the arrogance of a dominant CEO. I almost snorted with laughter, but Blanche's brazenness was unmatched. She turned to me, her gaze flickering to the bubble tea in my hand with undisguised disdain. "Ivy, darling," she purred, "I hear Mrs. Vance is very particular about etiquette and health. Coming to meet them while drinking this chemical-laden, sugary beverage might not make the best impression. And when we go inside, remember to walk softly and speak quietly, don't make any noise. Jackson's grandmother appreciates quiet." I chewed on my straw, bobbing my head as I popped a chewy tapioca pearl. "Got it. Thanks for the reminder." Inwardly, I scoffed, "Oh, Blanche, honey, I'm only here because I have to be, you know. If Jackson Vance hadn't promised to clear my credit card debt, not even a mountain of gold would have dragged my lazy self to this den of lions and wolves." The car stopped in front of a mansion as grand as a castle from a movie, its ornate iron gates, sculpted with dragons and phoenixes, slowly swinging open. 2 lines of household staff stood bowing in perfect unison. I swallowed hard. Oh man, I thought, this elite family is as deep and treacherous as the ocean. A slacker like me is definitely going to drown, Blanche quickly exited the car first, smoothly moving to Jackson Vance's side, clearly intending to link arms with him. But Jackson was a step faster. He turned, extending his hand to me. "Careful getting out. Don't fall." I took his hand, feeling the warmth of his large palm. Jackson looked at me, some of the coldness in his eyes softening. "Don't be scared," he said. "I'm here. If anyone tries to bully you, I'll dock their pay." My eyes lit up. "Even your mother?" Jackson Vance strode into the living room, and I was overwhelmed by the sheer opulence. Black crystal chandeliers, Persian rugs, Ming Dynasty vases, everywhere reeked of money. On a luxurious, imported Italian leather sofa sat 2 formidable women. One was Jackson's mother, Mrs. Chen Vance, radiating an aura of aristocratic elegance and possessing a sharp, piercing gaze. The other was Jackson's grandmother, her hair a distinguished white, yet her eyes were clear and alert as she stroked a fluffy white Persian cat. "Auntie, grandmother, I've come to visit you both." Before I could even open my mouth to greet them, Blanche rushed forward like a gust of wind, practically throwing herself into Jackson's grandmother's lap, her voice dripping with artificial sweetness. "Grandmother, I've missed you so much." The grandmother stiffened slightly. Open book, Dang Dyke Fan 2/4, 2502. The cat in her arms startled, let out a meow, and leaped away. Grandma Preston forced a chuckle. "Oh, is that you, Lily? You're all grown up, but still acting like a child." Mrs. Preston merely took a sip of her tea, her gaze sweeping past Lily before landing squarely on me. She scrutinized me from head to toe, her eyes like a laser scanner. I shivered, quickly bowing my head to greet her. "Hello, Mrs. Preston." "Hello, Grandma Preston. I'm Mia Lynn, Daniel Preston's girlfriend." Mrs. Preston said nothing, and the air in the room grew thick with an unsettling tension. Right on cue, Lily began her performance. She rose, delicately rolling up her sleeves with a show of earnestness. "Mrs. Preston, your tea has gone cold. Allow me to brew a fresh pot for you. I know you prefer preaching Minglongjing tea, so I had some specially brought over from Hangzhou. And the water I'll use is fresh spring water I collected myself from the mountains." She prattled on about the elaborate tea-making process, showcasing her supposed knowledge and domestic prowess. Mrs. Preston maintained her icy composure, neither nodding nor shaking her head. Lily quickly commandeered the tea table, her movements as she prepared the tea as graceful as a dance. 5 minutes later, she presented a steaming cup of tea, kneeling on one knee as she offered it to Mrs. Preston. "Mrs. Preston, please enjoy your tea." Then she turned to me, forcing a sweet smile. Mia, dear, please sit down. Don't just stand there gawking. I know you're probably spoiled at home and not familiar with tea ceremony etiquette, right? Don't worry, I'm here. You can just relax and enjoy yourself. Her words were venomous, simultaneously boasting of her own virtues while implying I was useless, ill-mannered, and unworthy of joining such a refined family. I darted a desperate glance at Daniel. He was about to speak when Mrs. Preston unexpectedly chimed in. Clink, the sharp sound of the teacup lid hitting the rim echoed through the room. Mrs. Preston didn't take the tea Lily offered. Instead, she said, her voice chillingly indifferent, Lily, stand up. Lily looked bewildered. Yes? Mrs. Preston calmly adjusted the silk scarf around her neck, her voice unhurried but full of undeniable authority. Our family, the Prestons, has so much money we don't know what to do with it all. I employ 20 housekeepers, 5 Michelin-starred chefs, and 3 beverage specialists, paying them millions every month. This isn't so our guests can come to our home and perform these menial tasks. The smile on Lily's face stiffened. Mrs. Preston continued, her eyes sharp as a razor. You said Mia doesn't know how to make tea. Good. A Preston daughter-in-law is brought into this family to enjoy her life, to wear diamond rings and jade bracelets, not to expose her hands to hot water and tea leaves. If I wanted a skilled tea maker, I'd hire a professional tea master. Why would I need to marry one off to my son? I froze. Hold on, something was terribly wrong with this script. Weren't wealthy mothers-in-law supposed to prefer diligent, capable daughters-in-law? Grandma Preston finally spoke, her voice clear and resonant. Exactly. Daniel's mother is absolutely right. What era are we living in where we'd make our daughters-in-law serve tea? What if it ruins their nails? Those manicures cost a fortune. Lily's face flushed crimson, her hand trembling as she held the teacup. She couldn't put it down, but she couldn't keep offering it either. At this point, Mrs. Preston turned to me, her eyes suddenly softening a little as she stared at the boba tea I was trying to hide behind my back. Is that brown sugar boba tea? I jumped, instinctively holding out the boba tea. Yes, Mrs. Preston. Would you like some? I haven't touched this one. I bought 2, and I already finished mine. This one was for Daniel, but he doesn't like sweet things. In truth, I'd bought this second one as an emergency stash for later, planning to sneak sips. Mrs. Preston's eyes lit up. Full toppings? I nodded frantically. Yes. Black boba, white boba, egg pudding, and cream cheese foam. Hand it over. Mrs. Preston waved her hand. I tremblingly offered her the boba tea. Mrs. Preston plunged the straw in with a decisive thwip, took a long slurp, chewed the boba with gusto, and her face softened, radiating pure satisfaction. Oh my goodness, this is delicious. My nutritionist has forbidden me from sweets for a whole month. I've been dying for something like this. Seeing this, Grandma Preston also exclaimed, Annie, are you hogging it? Let me try some of that egg pudding. And so, to Daniel's astonishment, Lily's utter collapse, and my own complete bewilderment, the 2 most powerful women of the Preston family were now squabbling over a single cup of boba tea. After finishing, Mrs. Preston wiped her mouth and looked at me with an unprecedented satisfaction. This girl has good taste, choosing something so sweet and creamy. She's genuine, not fake at all. I hate those girls who come into our house and only drink plain water and eat boiled vegetables. It's exhausting just watching them. My daughter-in-law should know how to eat, how to drink, and how to spend money. Grandma Preston nodded in agreement. Exactly. Look at how she eats, you know she'll be easy to take care of. And she'll definitely have plump, healthy babies later. I approve. Internally, Lily screamed. Asterisk why? Why is this happening? Asterisk. After her impressive, albeit disastrous, introduction, Lily wasn't ready to admit defeat. She decided to change tactics. The way to a man's heart, and a mother-in-law's, is through their stomach. When it was time to prepare lunch, Lily volunteered for kitchen duty again. Mrs. Preston, today I'll showcase my skills by making Buddha jumps over the wall and Cantonese steamed fish. I just learned a secret recipe. Mrs. Preston was busy scrolling through a boba tea delivery app menu I had just installed for her. She waved a dismissive hand. Whatever you like, dear. The kitchen's over there. Just don't get my new apron dirty, okay? Lily enthusiastically headed into the kitchen, not forgetting to drag me along. Mia, sweetie, come help me pick vegetables, won't you? A girl who can't cook, how will she take care of her husband and children later? I looked at Daniel. He was about to stand up, but I winked at him. It's just the kitchen, after all. I also wanted to see what kind of tricks this green tea was planning. Besides, I was hungry, and sneaking a snack in the kitchen sounded pretty good. In a kitchen as vast as a stadium, Lily began barking orders at me like a drill sergeant. Wash this bunch of greens, remember to wash each leaf individually, okay? Slice these onions, make sure they're paper thin. And keep an eye on the soup, don't let it boil over. I lasted about 2 minutes before I got bored. I glanced around and noticed a plate of fresh, peeled shrimp on the counter, already prepared by the chef. I promptly took one, dipped it in mustard, and popped it into my mouth. Delicious. Lily turned around, saw what I was doing, and immediately shrieked, "Oh my God, Mia. Why are you sneaking food? Those are ingredients for cooking. You're so ill-mannered." Her voice was so loud it echoed into the living room. She thought to herself, smugly, asterisk this time, you're toast. Sneaking food is the most shameful behavior, asterisk. Mrs. Preston and Grandma Preston hurried into the kitchen. Daniel followed behind, his face thunderous. Lily quickly put on a wronged expression. "Mrs. Preston, I'm so sorry, I couldn't control her. I was working so hard cooking, and when I turned around, she was just grabbing raw food and eating it. It's so unsanitary." Mrs. Preston looked at me. My mouth still had a smear of green mustard, and I was holding a second shrimp, about to bring it to my lips, when I was caught red-handed. I blinked, quickly swallowed the shrimp, and honestly confessed, it's just the shrimp was so fresh. And I was hungry. Lily twisted the knife. "Even if you're hungry, you should wait for everyone else. What kind of manners is that?" Mrs. Preston walked closer to me. She looked at the plate of shrimp, then at me. "You like eating raw shrimp with mustard?" I mumbled a tiny nod. Mrs. Preston spun around to face the head chef, who was standing tucked away in a corner. "Chef Chin, why is my daughter-in-law forced to sneak food like this? Is our house short on Alaskan king crab? Why is she eating these common shrimp?" The head chef broke out in a sweat. "Why yes, madam, I'll go get the king crab right away." Mrs. Preston patted my shoulder, her voice filled with feigned sorrow. "Poor thing, she must be starving from the long journey, that's why she had to sneak food. In this house, just ask for whatever you want. There's no need to be sneaky. So what if you're sneaking food? You're eating our food, not stealing from the neighbors. What's there to be afraid of?" Grandma Preston also chimed in, holding a cooked chicken drumstick, which she practically shoved into my hand. "Here, eat this for now, dear. Raw shrimp can upset your stomach. Eat this to get your strength back, then come to the living room and show me how to download that game, the one with the running cows." I held the chicken drumstick, almost moved to tears. "So, being a slacker actually got you special treatment?" It was then that Daniel finally spoke. He stepped beside me, pulled out a tissue, and gently wiped the mustard from my lip. Then he turned to Lily, who was standing frozen next to the bubbling pot of soup. "Lily," his voice was icy. "Yes, Daniel," she stammered. "Who did you say was ill-mannered?" Lily trembled. "I was just concerned for everyone's health." Daniel scoffed, a faint, humorless smile on his face. "I haven't even dared to scold my girlfriend once. By what right do you criticize her in my house? Furthermore, you volunteered to be in the kitchen, no one forced you. Don't use that condescending tone to order Mia around. Her hands are insured for $10 million, you know. Can you afford that?" I stared up at Daniel, my eyes wide, my mouth agape. Asterisk seriously, dude? You're exaggerating just a little, asterisk my hands were covered in calluses from holding my phone while gaming, not $10 million insurance material. But Mrs. Preston nodded approvingly. Daniel's right. "My daughter-in-law, come here, wash your hands with rose water and put on some hand cream. Let Lily finish cooking the rest of the meal. She's already started, after all, it would be a waste to stop now." And so, Lily was left to cater the entire feast alone, cooking for everyone, including the staff, smoke clinging to her, sweat dripping down her face. Meanwhile, I sat in the living room, gnawing on my chicken drumstick, teaching Grandma Preston how to throw grenades in PUBG Mobile. Life was truly blooming. After 2 grueling hours battling in the kitchen, Lily finally brought the meal to the table. Her elaborately styled hair was now plastered to her head with sweat. Her light, no makeup foundation had largely melted away from the heat, revealing dark circles under her eyes. As for me, after a 24K gold mask and a massage, I now radiated the scent of money and blissful idleness. "Mrs. Preston, Grandma Preston, Daniel, please, everyone, help yourselves," Lily said, attempting a practiced smile, her hands trembling slightly as she served. Her Buddha jumps over the wall dish looked impressive, but it tasted bland. Mrs. Preston took a spoonful, her brow furrowing almost imperceptibly. Lily quickly explained, Mrs. Preston, I know you prioritize wellness, so I seasoned it very lightly, preserving the natural sweetness of the ingredients. I didn't use many spices, you see? Mrs. Preston set her spoon down with a sigh. Do you know why I do yoga and take supplements every day? Lily looked puzzled. To live a long life, madam? No, Mrs. Preston lightly tapped the table. It's to have the strength to eat delicious food. I maintain my health so I can enjoy tongue-numbingly spicy Sichuan hot pot and juicy, sauce-drenched grilled meats, not to eat bland, watery broth like this. Speaking of which, she turned to me, Mia, do you happen to have any hot pot seasoning packets or instant noodles in your bag? I rummaged through the enormous bag Daniel had just bought me that morning and pulled out a jar of spicy shrimp sate sauce. I have this. It's amazing with crispy rice, it'll blow your mind. Grandma Preston's eyes lit up. Give me a spoonful. Quickly. And so, the meal unfolded in a bizarre, comedic scene. Lily's gourmet delicacies were completely ignored. My 20,000 dong jar of sate sauce, however, became the undisputed star of the dinner table. Lily sat watching us eat, tears welling in her eyes, her chopsticks methodically mashing the tofu in her bowl. Daniel picked up a piece of abalone, heavily dipped it in the sate sauce, and leaned in to whisper to me, You're brilliant. This sate sauce just saved my stomach. I winked back. Don't worry, I've got 2 more packs of snacks hidden in the car. Before we even finished eating, Mrs. Preston, feeling exceptionally pleased, suggested a trip to the shopping mall. It's been ages since I went shopping. Today, I'll take both of you. Mia, just pick out whatever you like, I'll swipe my card. At the mention of shopping, Lily was like a fish in water. She quickly adjusted her clothes, regaining her usual self-assured demeanor. She prided herself on being a fashionista, possessing an impeccable, refined taste that only old money and true elegance could afford. We. Open book, Dang Dyke Fan 3/4, 2502. I arrived at SKP, the most luxurious mall in the city. Bethany led us into a minimalist fashion boutique, where the main colors were white, beige, and gray. She picked up a plain, light beige silk dress, completely devoid of patterns. To me, it looked like nothing more than a sack with a hole cut out for the neck. Oh, Lily, you have to try this one, she cooed. This is the hottest, quiet luxury style right now. It looks simple, but it exudes such refined elegance. It's truly transcendent. You have a slightly darker complexion, and this color will, well, it'll make you look less rustic. I picked up the dress, then my eyes landed on the price tag, 80 million. 80 million, for this thing that looked like sleepwear? I shook my head emphatically, pointing to the store across the way where a dazzling, sequined golden evening gown hung, so bright you could see it from a mile away. I like that one, I declared honestly. It's sparkly, it's bright. One look, and people will know you have money. Bethany barely concealed a scoff, her eyes filled with undisguised contempt. Oh my heavens, Lily, your taste is truly unique. That dress looks like a disco ball from some cheap bar. People with true class don't wear anything so gaudy. It's utterly tacky. She turned to Mrs. Chen, her face a picture of sympathy. Mrs. Chen, you see? I suppose she's just used to a country lifestyle, she likes all these flashy things. Let me choose something else for her, before she steps out and embarrasses us all. I shrunk a little. I had to admit, my taste might be a tad bit cheesy. I was about to put the gold dress down when Mrs. Chen suddenly snatched it from my hand. She held it up against me, nodding with smug satisfaction. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. This is more like it. Bethany? Yes? Bethany replied, startled. Mrs. Chin turned, glaring at Bethany. What's all this quiet luxury nonsense? Our family is filthy rich, bursting at the seams with money. Why should we be quiet? No. We want loud. We want the whole world to know how rich we are. What's the point of wearing designer clothes if no one recognizes them? She pointed at the beige dress in Bethany's hand. That dust rag? 80 million? Nonsense. This gold dress, on the other hand, is adorned with 500 crystals. It practically screams prosperity, good fortune, and thriving feng shui. Lily, you truly have an eye, my dear. You have my full approval. Grandma Chen, leaning on her cane, hobbled over. She pointed at a bright red crocodile leather handbag. Buy this one too. Red and gold, a killer combo. If my granddaughter-in-law wears this for Lunar New Year visits, the red envelopes will practically bury her. Ethan, standing beside me, shoulders shaking, desperately tried to suppress his laughter. He pulled out his black card, handed it to the salesperson, and instructed them to wrap up everything: the gold dress, the red bag, and every single sequined item in the store. I stood there, holding a pile of garish, designer clothes, feeling like a walking Christmas tree. But then I looked at the radiant smiles on Mrs. Chen and Grandma Chen's faces, and suddenly, that dress didn't seem so bad after all. Bethany, meanwhile, stood utterly frozen in the middle of the store, her plain, light beige outfit making her completely disappear against the wall. After the whirlwind shopping spree, we returned to the Chen family mansion for the most crucial part of the day, the gift presentation. Bethany had meticulously prepared for this, hoping to salvage her reputation. She instructed a servant to bring in an intricately carved sandalwood box. When it was opened, inside lay an exquisitely detailed double-sided embroidery, 100 birds paying homage to the phoenix. Mrs. Chen, Grandma Chen, Bethany began, her voice choked with emotion, tears welling in her eyes. This is a piece I personally embroidered over the past 6 months. Every single day, I worked late into the night, my fingers pricked and bruised by the needles. But just thinking about your happiness, I didn't feel any pain at all. I chose not to buy expensive, thoughtless gifts, because I believe sincerity and heartfelt effort are what truly matter. Even Mrs. Chen nodded, her tone softening slightly. Yes, dear, your effort is appreciated. Your embroidery skills are truly excellent. Bethany let out a soft sigh of relief, her eyes darting a triumphant glance in my direction. She knew perfectly well that I was clumsy. I couldn't even sew a button on straight, let alone hand make a gift. If I gave a store-bought item, she would surely criticize me for being materialistic and lacking genuine sentiment. So, Lily, what gift did you prepare for Mrs. Chen? Bethany asked, a sweet smile on her face. I'm sure it's some expensive designer item, isn't it? You're so wealthy. I'm sure you don't mind spending money, only perhaps you didn't have the time to make something yourself like I did. I swallowed hard. Ethan had prepared my gift for me, calling it a warding artifact, but I hadn't even had a chance to see what it was. Trembling, I pulled out a heavy, red velvet-wrapped box and placed it on the table. Slowly, I lifted the lid. A blinding golden light erupted, momentarily dazzling everyone in the room. Inside lay a mahjong set. But it wasn't plastic, nor ivory. It was solid, pure 9,999 gold. The room fell silent, so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Bethany covered her mouth, a look of unadulterated scorn twisting her features. This time, she didn't bother to hide it. Oh, for heaven's sake, Lily. What were you thinking? This is the Chen family, a scholarly household, a family of refined taste. And you bring this crude, solid gold gambling set as a gift? Are you insulting Mrs. Chen? Insulting our family's culture? Do you think everyone here is as greedy and obsessed with gambling as you are? She spun to face Mrs. Chen, her expression one of profound sorrow. Mrs. Chen, I apologize on her behalf. She comes from a humble background. She only knows how to measure value with money. Aha. A piercing scream cut through Bethany's scathing monologue. It was Mrs. Chen, but it wasn't a scream of anger. It was the shriek of a fangirl encountering her idol. Mrs. Chen lunged forward, embracing the golden mahjong set, her hands trembling as she picked up an 8 bamboos tile and kissed it repeatedly. Oh my darling, my precious baby. I've been looking for you my whole life. Grandma Chen immediately threw her cane aside and pounced. Move over. Let me see my 1 bamboo golden sparrow tile. Oh, it's so heavy, so solid in the hand. Smacking this on the table would feel absolutely exhilarating. I stared at Ethan, bewildered. He just shrugged, whispering, Mom and Grandma are the mahjong queens of this neighborhood, but all their jade or wooden sets were too light. They've dreamed of a gold set for ages, but Dad wouldn't let them buy one, afraid of being seen as nouveau riche. Mrs. Chen turned, engulfing me in a hug, tears streaming down her face. Daughter-in-law, you truly are the most filial child on earth. How did you know I liked this? That embroidery will collect dust after 3 days and be difficult to clean. But this? We can play with it, and it's a stored asset. If Chin Corporation ever goes bankrupt, you and I can sell this and live comfortably. Ethan's face darkened. Mom, I'm managing the company very well. We won't go bankrupt. Mrs. Chen waved him off dismissively. Who knows? Gold is always the safest bet. Lily, your gift truly touched my heart. Bethany, you should learn from her. Less of the superficial frills, live a little more practically. Bethany stood there, her face as white as an A4 sheet of paper. Her heartfelt embroidery, the one she'd toiled over for 6 months, was casually pushed aside by a servant, next to the cat's scratching post. I scratched my head, chuckling sheepishly. Yes, I just thought gold would suit your fortune, Mrs. Chen. Grandma Chen slapped her thigh. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Stay tonight, the three of us will start a game. Vaughn, you just sit outside and pour drinks. Don't even think about joining our game. The atmosphere in the house became unusually lively. Mrs. Chen and Grandma Chen bustled around, arranging the mahjong table. Bethany was completely forgotten. She couldn't accept defeat. She had lost in the kitchen, lost in taste, and even lost in the gift-giving round. She decided to unleash her final, most vicious attack, a direct assault on my character. Mrs. Chen. Bethany suddenly knelt, tears streaming down her face, her voice a tragic lament, like a heroine from a melodrama. Everyone stopped, turning to look at her. Now what? Mrs. Chen frowned, still caressing a gold mahjong tile. I didn't want to say this, Bethany sobbed, but for Vaughn's happiness, I must speak. Bethany pointed a trembling finger at me, her eyes burning with hatred. Lily isn't as simple as she seems. She approached Vaughn with an agenda. Her family is buried in debt, her father is a gambler, her mother abandoned them, and she herself has massive credit card debt. She's only after Vaughn for our family's money. The room fell absolutely silent. I sighed. I had already told Ethan all of this from the very beginning, but hearing it from someone else, especially to the elders of the family, was certainly difficult. I was about to stand up and explain myself, or at least apologize, then grab the gold mahjong set and make a run for it. But Ethan squeezed my hand. He remained calm, looking at his mother. Mrs. Chen looked at Bethany, then at me, then back at the golden mahjong set. Suddenly, she clapped her hands. Brilliant. Excellent. Yes. Bethany uttered, perhaps for the nth time that day. Mrs. Chen stood up, radiating an imposing presence. Bethany, do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I wouldn't investigate my daughter-in-law's background before she even stepped foot in this house? She pointed at me. So what if she loves money? This family has everything but a lack of money. What I fear most are those girls who open their mouths saying, I don't need money, I only need love. Those are the truly scary ones, because love is the easiest thing to change. Today they love, tomorrow they don't, and they drag you to court to split assets. She walked over and patted my shoulder. But this girl? She loves money. The Chen family has enough money to last 10 generations. As long as our family remains rich, she'll keep loving Vaughn and stay loyal to this house. A relationship bound by money is the most stable relationship in the universe. I like this straightforwardness. Grandma Chen nodded vigorously. Wise words. And even better that she's in debt, she'll appreciate her meal ticket more. It's much better than marrying one of those pampered rich girls who get upset at the drop of a hat, constantly demanding to go back to their parents' house. So tiresome. She turned to me. Lily, whatever you owe, I'll pay it all off. Consider it my welcome gift. Ethan and Bethany looked as if they were choking on blood. Everyone's gone mad. Mrs. Chen forcefully pointed to the door. Guards. Escort the guest out. Bethany, from now on, don't come here again. I fear your refined presence will pollute the happy, money-filled atmosphere of my family. Bethany was dragged out by two tall bodyguards amidst her desperate wails and protests. The door closed. I turned to look at this peculiar family. Lily, come sit down, Mrs. Chen instructed. I'll teach you how to win a 13 orphans mahjong hand. Win this hand, and I'll give you the mall we visited this afternoon. I held the cold, golden mahjong tile in my hand, but my heart felt strangely warm. It turned out that even a lazy, money-grubbing salted fish like me could find her blessings. You just needed to find the right in-laws, those who were filthy rich but utterly unconventional. After that dramatic introduction, Ethan and my wedding date was quickly set. However, I suffered from a debilitating condition, an acute allergy to effort. The mere thought of waking up at 3 a.m. for makeup, standing for 5 hours to greet guests, and going table to toast them, immediately sent me into protest. I lay sprawled on the sofa, hugging Ethan's leg, whining, I'm not getting married anymore, it's too much work. How about we just register our marriage and be done with it? Ethan rubbed his temples, looking helplessly at his mother. Mrs. Chen, who was currently trying on a dazzling, diamond-encrusted gown, waved her hand dismissively. Oh, is that all? My daughter-in-law doesn't want to walk? Then she doesn't have to. And so, the Chen family's wedding of the century unfolded in the most unique way possible. Instead of a traditional red carpet, my father-in-law, a powerful, taciturn man, but utterly devoted to his wife, had an automatic conveyor belt installed, adorned with a carpet of roses, stretching from the gate all the way to the altar. I wore a wedding dress that weighed over 40 pounds due to the sheer number of gemstones my mother-in-law had insisted on. I simply stood still on the conveyor belt, slowly gliding into the ceremony hall like a lazy goddess. Ethan stood at the end of the conveyor belt, watching me approach, his lips twitching slightly, but his eyes full of doting affection. That wasn't all. When it came time for the champagne toast, I grimaced. "This wine is too bitter, I can't drink it." Grandma Chen immediately gave an order, "Change it. Replace all the champagne towers with brown sugar boba tea for the bride." And so, before thousands of guests. Open book, Dang Dyke Fan 4/4, 1364-2. Just 3 months after the wedding, I discovered I was pregnant. The news sent the entire Jiang family into a frenzy. Mrs. Jiang, my mother-in-law, immediately snapped up 3 baby product companies, practically overnight. And Grandma Jiang? She hired an entire opera troupe to perform blessings for 3 days and 3 nights straight. But the thing was, my morning sickness was, well, peculiar. Most women crave sour or sweet things. Me? I craved the smell of money. Don't misunderstand, I didn't want to eat money. I just loved to inhale the scent of freshly printed bills. The moment I caught a whiff of that ink on a crisp new dollar, my nausea vanished. I could eat well, sleep soundly. So, every single night, Jackson found himself with a rather peculiar sacred duty. He'd sit right beside me, counting stacks of cash. 1 bill, 2 bills, 3 bills. His voice, a low rumble, would count as his fingers expertly fanned through the money. I'd lie there, inhaling that oddly comforting aroma, and drift off into a deep, peaceful sleep. One afternoon, at a lavish tea party, I encountered a rather sharp-tongued socialite, a close friend of Jackson's ex-girlfriend. She spotted me, visibly pregnant, munching on some snacks, and promptly curled her lip in disdain. "Mrs. Jiang," she sneered, "carrying a child and eating so unscientifically. Your baby won't be intelligent, you know. The Jiang family needs an exceptional heir. Don't ruin the entire lineage." I was still chewing, unable to retort, when Mrs. Jiang appeared as if from thin air, a formidable guardian angel. She absolutely scorched that socialite with a look. "Who asked you to worry?" she snapped. "My grandchild doesn't need to be intelligent. All it needs is to know how to spend money. This family has far too much money already. If we have an intelligent child who goes out and earns even more, our house will be too cramped. There'll be nowhere to put it all. I just need a grandchild who knows how to enjoy life and spend, to ease the burden of wealth from this family." The socialite was left utterly speechless, slinking away into the crowd. I gently stroked my belly, whispering to my unborn child, "See? You have enormous pressure on you, little one. You have to become an expert at spending money." The day I went into labor, the entire VIP floor of the International Hospital was put on lockdown. I was terrified of the pain, screaming at Jackson. "You liar. You said it would only hurt like an ant bite. What kind of ant is this? A fire ant? Or a queen ant?" Jackson's face was ashen, sweat pouring off him even more profusely than me. He squeezed my hand, practically whimpering, "It's my fault, all my fault. Once this one is out, I'm getting a vasectomy. We are not having any more children." After 2 hours of struggle, which, truthfully, involved me screaming for a minute, dozing off for 30, and then pushing for another 30, a baby's cry echoed through the room. It was a boy. Grandma Jiang and Mrs. Jiang rushed in. I expected them to fight over who got to hold the baby first. Instead, they both gazed at the newborn and collectively sighed. Mrs. Jiang lamented, "Why does he look exactly like Jackson?" Grandma Jiang's expression was cold and displeased. I was hoping he'd look more like Emily, with those big, innocent eyes. Oomph. Jackson, holding his sleeping son, looked utterly exasperated. "Grandma," he said, "this is your grandson, your first heir. Could you two please ease up on the criticism?" The baby was named Tristan, meaning one who understands principles. But at home, we called him Bun, because his face was always so plump, and more importantly, he was just as lazy as his mother. As Bun grew, he demonstrated an increasing, undeniable genetic predisposition to his mother's traits. For his first birthday celebration, our family laid out all sorts of items: a fountain pen for intellect, a stamp for authority, a calculator for business, and gold coins for wealth. The idea was to see what profession Bun would choose. Bun, however, sat amidst the spread and let out a gigantic yawn. He didn't bother to reach for anything. Instead, he simply rolled over, swept the pen and the stamp aside with an impatient flick of his hand. Finally, he reached for my favorite slacker fish pillow, pulled it close, and promptly went back to sleep. Mrs. Jiang slowly clapped her hands. Excellent. Brilliant. He knows how to enjoy life. Life is short, and sleep is true love. When he grows up, he'll be a chairman of the board, just sign papers and go back to sleep. Hire people to do the rest. At 3 years old, Jackson tried diligently to teach Bun his ABCs. Bun, repeat after Dad. A, B, C. Bun, lounging on the rug, bottle in hand, looked up at him. Dad, why bother learning? It's so tiring. Aren't you earning enough money to support me? Jackson practically fumed, but he couldn't argue. I sat nearby, choking back laughter. My son, truly, was a logical genius. When Bun turned 5, he started kindergarten. One day, his teacher called to complain. Mrs. Jiang, about Bun. Today, the class was playing tag. Bun refused to run. I asked, what did he do? The teacher replied, he paid other children to run for him. He handed out chocolate candies as payment, told them to run around the playground, and he just sat there, acting as the judge. I hung up, then turned to look at Jackson, who was working. Honey, I said, our son has real leadership potential. He knows how to use money to make others do the grunt work. Jackson sighed, closing his laptop. He came over and wrapped his arms around the two of us. All right, he murmured. As long as you two are happy, that's all that matters. I'll carry the weight of the entire world if I have to. That night, I lay in Jackson's embrace, watching Bun sleep soundly, spread-eagled just like me. I asked him, do you ever regret marrying a lazy wife and then having an even lazier child? Jackson kissed my forehead, a soft smile gracing his lips. No, he said. Precisely because you're lazy, you don't scheme, you don't fight. With you, I find the most peace. The world outside is exhausting enough with all its struggles. Coming home to see my two favorite people sprawled out watching TV, that's my definition of happiness. I giggled, nestling my head against his chest. It turned out the secret to being cherished in a wealthy, powerful family wasn't to scheme or to pretend to be a diligent, capable wife. The real secret was simply to be myself, even if that meant being a little bit lazy. And, most importantly, to find an in-law family with a truly unique taste, just like this one. Epilogue, 20 years later. Bun, now Tristan Jiang, was 25 years old and had officially taken over the Jiang Corporation. He had become the youngest, coldest, and most enigmatic CEO the company ever seen. In a tense boardroom meeting, shareholders were fiercely debating a new project. Tristan sat at the head of the table, eyes half closed. His assistant leaned in, whispering, Mr. Jiang, what's your decision? Tristan opened his eyes, picked up his phone, and made a call. Mom, he said, do you want the new shopping mall built in Zone A or Zone B? On the other end of the line, my voice, I was currently on vacation in the Maldives with Jackson, rang out clearly. Go with Zone B, sweetie. It's closer to my favorite bubble tea shop. Tristan hung up then, with a completely straight face, declared, Zone B it is. His stated reason, a strategic move for sustainable development, based on the preferences of the company's ultimate matriarch. The entire boardroom collectively thought, this Jiang family, they're truly a lost cause. The end.